bee, when you write it out with all the zeros behind it, it's quite impressive. A 2.86% increase from the prior year. And it's really from the strength of the diversity of all the crops that get produced in our wonderful county. There are over 300 different commodities, 80 of which have a gross value in excess of $1 million. That's pretty impressive. So we're very fortunate because we go to the grocery store and everything there. A lot of it is grown locally, and it makes it even more tasty because it's sweet on the vine. So here to tell you more about our wonderful agriculture is Ryan Jacobs.
Well, I gotta say, first off, what a day to celebrate the bounty of Fresno County, a gorgeous day outside. And the cool thing is, if you guys get too bored with me, you can look through these nice windows. We got a working packing house right behind us, so watch those skilled forklift drivers work there. It's kind of pretty amazing to see all that happening right behind us there. As Supervisor Case just mentioned, I think this is worth a round of applause. You guys need an applause. We're the #1 agricultural county in the nation. And I'm having you applause because I don't know how much longer I can say that, because 2021's crop report's probably not going to be as strong as 2020's just because of the water situation, and obviously now the 2022 crop report's not going to look potentially too good because of the water situation. Hopefully it rains over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks, but right now it's not looking overly promising. But excited to say that we are #1, and whether we're #1, #2, #3, the most important fact is that this region is absolutely amazing when it comes to the nation's plate. Every single day, it is likely that every single American is eating something that originated within our backyard. And with it, whatever radius you want to pick, 60 to 100 miles. As I always say, no matter how much of a health nut you are, or maybe you aren't as healthy, nevertheless, most likely one of those ingredients, or multiple one of those ingredients, originated right here in Fresno County. When we talk about why we're here to talk about the bounty of Fresno County and the blossoms, we got to talk about those crops that make up the blossom trail. So we're here celebrating almonds, apples, apricots, cherries, citrus, nectarines, peaches, plums, nectarines, bluots, and so much more. These crops and nuts showcase the beauty, flavor, and the culture of this region because it's so intertwined to everything that we do there. And also for Valley residents, it means, and the Valley residents and the nation, it means value-added products and safe, wholesome food that folks can enjoy throughout the world. We welcome the many visitors. It's been said that, Europe and other folks come here to visit. We're gonna have tens of thousands of folks that come over here the next 6 to 8 weeks to enjoy these amazing blossoms. I'm a believer that as long as you say it with, certainty and nobody else questions you, people most of the time believe you. I say that this is the world's largest pollination event, and nobody's ever told me I'm wrong. I don't know of anything else that's taking place that's larger, so it's absolutely amazing what takes place right here. And so I'm so excited to celebrate those incredible things. Now, when you talk about just the Blossom Trail itself and those crops that we just mentioned, that makes up 2.6 of that almost $8 billion. So it's $2.6 billion are going to be blooming over the course of the next 6 to 8 weeks. Plus an additional $141 million from those incredible bees that we have producing all that honey. And I did some simple math last night, and this is just like really, back of the napkin type of math, but we're talking like 780 truckloads of honey that would be coming out of just Fresno County if you do some extrapolation about how much honey is produced here in this county. So I thought that was pretty amazing. I love to share statistics and facts and just cool things. And some of you farmers in the room already know some of these, but I know a lot of you haven't heard these facts, so I thought it would be fun to share a few of them. So it takes on average between 1.5 to 2 hives per acre of honeybees for almonds. And a hive is 2 boxes. So it's those one box stacked on top of the other box, that's a hive. And so it takes approximately, when you look at these fields, it's almost 2 hives per acre. So you're talking about millions and millions of bees that are coming throughout the nation. Approximately 90% of the nation's honeybees are going to be here in the San Joaquin Valley over the course of the next 6 weeks. When you talk about a honeybee, I thought this was absolutely incredible. It takes 1 ounce of honey to fuel a bee's flight around the world. And of course, bees are very short-lived, but if one was to fly around the world, it could get by on just 1 ounce of honey. Bees are fussy little fellows. They don't like to work in the rain, at night, in the early morning, or when there's frost. But arguably, I could look around this room and say the same about some others around here. So, total joking. But nevertheless, the bees, they really need those critical temperatures, about 66, 65 degrees before they really start getting flying, and that's what allows the magic to happen here in the valley. The almond is botanically a stone fruit related to a cherry, plum, peach, and apricot. That always amazes folks, even still. I've said that a few times, but most people don't know that an almond is not necessarily a true nut. Even though it's one of the 4 official state nuts, it's not technically a nut, because a true nut is, botanically speaking, a hard-shelled pod that contains both the fruit and the seed of the plant, where the fruit does not open to release the seed to the world. Some examples are chestnuts, hazelnuts, and acorns. So fun fact for you, an almond is not a true nut, but even though we refer to it in the agriculture industry as one. Almonds grow on trees in 3 parts, the hull, the shell, and the kernel. The hull is a bit fuzzy and reminds us of the outside of the peach, because essentially it is a peach, and it's a bit thicker than that. The shell is a thick layer that protects the kernel, and then the kernel is the actual nut that we get to consume. The orange usually contains 10 segments. I don't know if anybody's ever sat there and counted them, but it's 10 segments. I thought that was interesting because I've never counted it before. The average cherry tree has 7,000 cherries. A nectarine is a type of peach. They are distinguished by a genetic mutation that gives them smooth skin rather than the characteristic fuzzy skin that you have on a peach. A tangelo is a cross between either a mandarin or tangerine and a pomelo or a grapefruit. I learned that one this last month. And then citrus fruits that are grown in climates without a proper winter will stay green on the outside. It never fails. I always get calls about how the cold weather is going to affect the citrus industry. We need cold to make that citrus happen. That's one thing that a lot of folks don't recognize, is that citrus needs that cold to bring on the color, to bring on the sweetness. And so the cold that we have here is absolutely necessary for that crop. We just don't like to see it get too cold. Below 31, 30 degrees, it becomes a little bit more of a concern when we have those long durations. So I can go on and on about all these amazing statistics of our industry, but nevertheless, it all boils down to our farmers, ranchers, our employees, and all of those across this community that is a part of our agriculture community deserve recognition for making this all happen. It doesn't happen by accident. It's literally, we're talking about 150 years, generation after generation. You heard one of those generation stories from Grant here earlier about those folks that have invested in this region to allow this desert to bloom. And we are so fortunate that we have been able to play such a critical role in both the nation and the world's diet. With that, thank you so much. Thank you to Fowler Packing. Thank you to the Parnagian family. And nobody's actually said the word. I will do a slight bit of advertising, and thankful to the Peels brand that's up here today. We are celebrating the Peels brand, so make sure you consume some of those before you leave today. Thank you guys so much.
Chamber of Commerce, and we have so much going on to celebrate the Blossom Trail. We're starting off on, we are starting off on February the 26th and 27th with our Blossom Trail bus and tour. We tour the Blossom Trail, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Sanger has 5 wineries. Yeah, you heard it, 5 wineries. So we take a tour along the Blossom Trail, and we take people to all our 5 wineries. And you know what, guys? We also have a microbrewery. So not only do we take them on this Blossom Trail winery tour, we take them to the microbrewery. That would be the 26th and 27th. And then on March 5th, we have our Blossom Trail Run that we have heard a couple of people talk about. And then on the 12th of March, we have our Blossom Trail Car Show and Festival. So that goes right after that. It's a beautiful event that we have celebrating the Blossom Trail. And then I think that is about it. I mean, not a whole lot, just a few little things going on there where we honor the beauty of that is the Blossom Trail. So come on by. And also, like we said, we have Ruth. Anybody who wants posters, needs posters today, and today only, guys. If you want to get your posters, we're going to sell them today for $10 if they're unsigned. So after that, they're going up. I'm selling them for like $1,000 a piece. So if you want your posters, you're going to get them for $10 today. After today, they're $1 million. So $10 today, $1 million tomorrow, okay?